This will be the untold story of Geoff Palko. For those of you not around during the early years after Fukushima and after the meltdowns occurred, there will be some names that I'm about to mention that are very well known in the YouTube Fukushima community. I found out about Fukushima from a man named Kevin Blanch. This man, Kevin Blanch, is the first person on YouTube on March 12th, 2011, to mention that the reactors in Fukushima are in meltdown. And ever since, he has brought attention to not only this incident, but every nuclear issue that can be found in the world. There will be a video in the near future specifically on him, which is part of this series of my Fukushima experience. For us to understand the Geoff Palko story, there are a few more people we need to get acquainted with to see the whole picture. The next person I will only briefly mention, and that is an ocean diver by the name of Dana Durnford. Now, Dana also began early on making reports on Fukushima and gave many people the knowledge of Fukushima occurring. Now, during this time, another person showed up in the Fukushima community. His name is Louis Lamoureux, and he is also from Canada, like Dana. Louis had accounts named Silver Goldman, connecting dots 1, 2, and 3, where most of the time he dealt with silver, gold, and investments in the market, while trying his luck with debunking non-specific topics. Now, Geoff Palko, a man that was part of the Palko Energy family that made a great living, that was living very well off, so to speak. He learned that he had terminal cancer and began to become an environmentalist and started taking action by pursuing activists to help with their journeys. Geoff found both Kevin Blanch and Dana Durnford and felt compelled to help where he could to do the most good for our society. He made an arrangement with Dana to cover the cost of a hull of a boat that Dana could use and get more funding elsewhere for the rest of the cost to finish the boat with a cabin, motors, and other essentials. The boat was to be used to do field work for Dana to go out and take specimens to be tested. Dana did just that, but when he went out, he found that it would be irresponsible to take from the ocean the very small amounts that were left, and he decided it would be better to give these species he did find a best possible chance to prosper. Geoff also gave Kevin Blanch funding to be placed in a fund to earn interest, and then that interest would be used by Kevin for whatever he would need it for, and Geoff would get back his initial investment. Now enter Louis Lamoureux. Louis seen the money that Geoff was freely giving and wanted a piece of the action. This could be seen obviously in his post he was uploading on YouTube. All this time, I'm just in the background watching. All these videos from these various people were releasing in this time frame. There are many more, but these are the most well-known people dealing with this topic. Now, Geoff never met Louis Lamoureux,
With the dogs guy.
but began receiving emails from Louis pestering Geoff to take the boat from Dana and give it to him so he could go out and be the big YouTube star he's seen the other people becoming. The greed for the boat and possible funds began to play on Louis's mind, and he began to belittle Geoff in the emails and in his produced videos. This all began to wear on Geoff, as more and more followers of Lewis began showing up and putting it in his head that both Kevin and Dana were just stealing his money. So Geoff began to ask Kevin and Dana more and more after only a few months after Geoff made the investments. Dana was hard to contact being out at sea, and Kevin was staying in contact and explaining to Geoff that to set up a fund, it takes time with lawyers and other things that had to take place, and that 2 or 3 months isn't enough time for any fund to mature and gain any type of interest to even be worth it. So Geoff made a video saying he was unsure of Dana and Kevin's honesty and wanted some answers. During this time, others showed up like Craig Douglas, aka Forbid TV, aka Dana Durnford and Kevin Blanche Debunk channels, and many other people that caused Geoff to have a breakdown as Lewis and his group of thugs pestered Geoff. At this time of the story, we will be using information that isn't sourced by me personally, but it is the part that most do not know. Now, it is said that Geoff's ex-wife and Kevin Palko, his brother, seen Geoff giving away his money and seen the things that Louis Lamoureux was saying on YouTube, and they both decided to have Geoff committed. The hospital ran tests and found Geoff to be of sound mind and couldn't hold him any longer. Geoff spent nearly 6 weeks in the hospital. During the weeks that Geoff was being held, his brother Kevin Palko sent copies of the checks that Geoff made to Kevin and Dana to then be used on his videos. This was an illegal act by both Kevin Palko and Louis Lamoureux for publicly displaying another person's financial records without their permission. Now, when Geoff returned home, he found what his brother did online. But what's even worse, he was mortified to find that his life savings of precious metals in his home, with an estimated worth of several tens of thousands of dollars, was gone, completely missing, which is many times more than what he gave Kevin and Dana combined. He knew then he had been had by his brother, his ex-wife, an unknown party, I found out, with the first name of Nathan, Louis Lamoureux, and his gang of thugs from Metabunk, which includes Craig Douglas, and many more. Geoff knew who took his money and made another video once all this transpired, stating that he spoke with both Kevin and Dana and was satisfied with their actions and told them both what happened. He told them since he was dying and his actual life savings he had saved in his home was stolen, he just told them to keep the investment and use them as they see fit. Geoff, stricken with grief, with no ability to further help society, which was his dream before leaving this planet, with his life savings, and felt as if he had nothing more to offer the world, and decided to have an assisted euthanasia, which is legal in Canada. I watched this all unfold in videos and in comment sections, and knew then I had to get involved. After Geoff's death, the attacks by Lewis, Craig, and the gang of debunking trolls, which seemed to be in the business of debunking officially. Right now, I'm calling out Metabunk and the McKinsey Devils Group for what they did to every Fukushima video maker on YouTube. What seems like hundreds of accounts showed up on every Fukushima video by every person speaking out about it, and began the notable thumbs down campaign. They manipulated the analytics in such a way it caused less attention to be placed with the algorithm, and less activity on the videos. They didn't just do that. One by one, they showed up to my channel. And unlike any other channel out there, I not only knew everything about the Geoff Palko case, but also they didn't have one person in their group that had more knowledge than me about nuclear physics, nuclear reactors in general, or the topic of Fukushima. One by one they came, and one by one they soon realized that they couldn't use any of the footage from my comment sections in their debunking videos, because I debunked each and every one of them. They knew then that Louis Lamoureux completely lied to them about Geoff and the money he gave both Kevin and Dana. So they then focused their attention on my innocent fiance and used that against me to make me stop debunking all of them. Since most of them were based out of the UK, it was much easier for them to harass and bully her. That's when I had enough. So I called the police in Canada, 2 different provinces, and it only took about a half an hour. And within a month or 2, Louis Lamoureux had vanished. Now here are the possible answers to Louis Lamoureux, aka Silver Goldman, aka Connecting Dots 1, 2, and 3, would have vanished. Number 1, the police went and picked him up, and he is in prison for illegal border crossing, for marijuana, and his actions online, illegal producing of financial records without the permission, or, like Craig Douglas said, he heard he stole some people's money and then vanished. Or he was paid by Metabunk, and when they found out he lied to them, who knows what they would have done to him. Either way, he's vanished for years, and the person that started it all, and still has people today still peddling that same lie, already proven by me long ago as completely false, like Craig Douglas, aka Forbid TV, and aka Dana Durnford and Kevin Blanche Debunked, or Little Dipper, or a host of others like Double Hoop Nation, which is actually Winky Mouse or Cody Palko 666 or various others. You have to understand, you must be careful in these comment sections, and don't allow them to get into your personal life by any means necessary. These are corrupt, evil people that use this platform to manipulate innocent people into doing their bidding. Don't be the next victim. Thanks for watching. Bye.